Hey, what's good? Hey, listen, if you've been around me at all, you've probably heard me say these words, that life is exactly what you dare to make it, and that fortune favors the bold, baby, and that the trick to life is to boldly step up and dare to be magnificent. And each one of those words is chosen for a specific reason, especially the word magnificent. And so, if you got any interest at all at being more magnificent or stepping up your magnificence game, you're going to be happy you're here today, because I'm not only going to show you the 5 elements of magnificence, but I'm going to show you 5 things that you can do right now and throughout your day to go further, faster, and step up your game in doing it. So let's talk about, again, the word magnificence as well. And each one of those words, again, I chose specifically, but this one, magnificence to me means to magnify the essence of something, to make something greater than it already is. And the essence of who we are as human beings is we're designed, we're put on this planet to grow and to learn and to give and to achieve and all of those things. And with regard to success, whatever it is in our, having a better body and a healthy body, having a great relationship, making more money, all the things that we want in our lives, I always ask this question: do you want what you want sooner rather than later? The answer is always a resounding yes. And the way to do that is to become more of who you already are. But you got to do something. You got to dare to do something different. And the something different is not always something difficult or hard. Matter of fact, a lot of times it's super simple. So grab a pad and paper, because I want you to take some notes on this, because these 5 things that I'm going to tell you right now, these are kind of the keys, the foundation to magnificence. Because if we don't know what something is, then guess what? We're probably not going to go after it and make it happen. And I'm going to share with you some of this is my experiences of my own, but it's also experiences that I've had with other people. I've seen other people, I've coached other people, and I've just observed around. I taught at the University of Southern California for 7 years, several years ago. And when I was there, I taught to the engineering and management department. Now, I'm not an engineer and I'm not a manager, but I'm a psychologist. And so they brought me into the college there to help people figure out what goes on up here so that they could perform better, and more specifically, so that they could help other people perform better. And performance always produces results. And so if that's where you are right now, like I said, whatever it is that you want to do, you want to make more money, and no matter what you're doing, I'm not here to throw shade on anybody or any profession or anything that you're already doing. All I'm doing is kind of help you give the skills to lay on top of it so that you do more and you become part of that 3% of people that are successful, if you will, at whatever it is. And so, again, you have an essence inside. That essence is energy. It's electricity, if you will. And what it takes for us to be more magnificent, to dare to do something, to have courage, to have bravery, to step up and do the stuff that other people won't, is it just takes more energy. I know that sounds simple, but it's the truth. When you think of somebody going after something, do you see somebody going after somebody that's something like this, or do you see somebody like this going after it? And they're going after it. When they're like that, it's because they have more electricity going through you. And so part of what I'm going to show you how to do is to create more. But it comes from here first in this situation. It comes from how you think first. It's not mindset, it's psychology. And the most important thing is what you think of yourself. And so I'm going to give you 5 things. And these are the 5, let's just say, pillars of magnificence, if you will. And I learned these a long time ago. I was fortunate, I had a father that was military. And I don't know where he got it from, but he shared it with me. And lo and behold, and by the way, I say he was military because he was pretty strict about stuff, and he made sure that we followed all of these rules. And lo and behold, later on, as I find out through life, no matter who I'm working with, whether it's an Academy Award-winning movie star or a Grammy-winning musician or major sports figure or politician or whatever, millionaires, billionaires, and so on and so forth, at some level, they have most of these things, if not all 5 of them, in some level. And here's what they are. The first one is integrity. Now hold up, because you might think of yourself, well, integrity means truthfulness and all those things work. But integrity in this case, all I want you to do, I want to simplify it so much so that you got it. And you go, okay, well, that's all it is. Okay, I can do that. Because oftentimes when people think about integrity, it's about truthfulness and it's about being honest and it's about speaking your mind and all that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Integrity means to do what you say you're going to do. Whatever you commit to doing, do it. Whether you say it to yourself or whether you say it to other people or both. That's integrity. When you write something down, when you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start this diet, I'm going to make this phone call, I'm going to start a business or whatever, do what you say you're going to do. Now, here's the key, is most people feel like that means I got to do it right now, otherwise I've failed. Listen, Rome wasn't built in a day. You didn't learn how to walk the first time you got up and stood up on your 2 feet. Stuff takes time. Do what you say you're going to do, and you can do it in increments. At the end of every day, did you do something towards making it happen? And again, I'm going to give you something at the end of this that you can use that is going to go over all 5 of these things right now and set you up on a schedule to be able to do it. And I also want you to know that every time I teach something like this or I advocate something like this, it is always designed so that it becomes natural for you, so that it becomes automatic. And so it's not something that you got to take on, and you're going to be doing these exercises for the rest of your life. You just do it for a little while, and pretty soon it's like building this muscle. It becomes who you are. So the first thing is, and again, I'm going to give you 5 tips, if you will, or 5 things so that you're more apt to staying with these 5 pillars. So the first one's integrity. Do what you say you're going to do as much as possible, as often as possible. The second thing is tenacity. Tenacity. What does that mean? Now, again, I'll give you what most people think tenacity means. You got to have the strength, you got to have the courage, you got to have, the stick-to-itiveness and all of those things. No, tenacity just means continue to do what you say you're going to do or said you were going to do. If you said that you're going to build this muscle, if you said that you're going to grow a business, if you said that you're going to make your relationship better or whatever it is, it doesn't mean that you do it once. It means that you continue to do it over and over again. It's something that I call activity versus action. Because see, a lot of my mentors, a lot of people say, well, listen, knowledge is not power, which is true. Knowledge is just stored information. They say action is power. And I say, guess again, Sam, action is only temporary power. Action means, get up and do something, and it's helpful, it's useful, and it does get you off the dime, but it doesn't keep you going. It doesn't give you tenacity. And what that means is going to the gym and lifting weights for one day doesn't do anything for that muscle. It's just going to make it sore. Doing it for 10 days is just going to make it sore. You got to do it for, months and months for that muscle to grow. And the crazy thing about it is when most people think about it, I got to do this for months and months, and then guess what? They check out. But that's because they're not used to having the integrity, the thing before there. And so that willingness is one thing. But to stimulate your brain, and again, I'm going to give you something to do to help stimulate your brain to go, yes, I need to do this. I want to do this. I have to do this tomorrow and the next day. So that's action, doing it once or twice. And activity is doing action over and over continuously until you surpass your goal, till you go past your goal. Because see, people look at a goal and they go, okay, that's where I'm going, and when I get there, I'm done. I always say, look past your goal. Because when you look past your goal, then, the old saying is, let's look back on your success. Let's look back on your future and witness the success. And what that means is, have you ever done that? You've worked on something, you've done something, and all of a sudden you realize, gosh, I'm way past that. I'm running now when I used to think I couldn't walk. I'm playing this instrument, I'm working on this computer, I'm doing stuff that I didn't think I could do before, now I'm doing it. That's called tenacity, activity, doing something over and over again until you surpass your goal. Next is energy. Energy. And what that means is, like I said, it's the electricity that goes on inside of you. Energy just means that charge that's inside of you. That's the essence of who you are and all the things that it takes to make that happen. How you eat, how you sleep, the words that you say. As a matter of fact, there's 6 things that I always say. It's the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, the food that you eat, the thoughts that you think, the moves that you make, and the words and the things that you seek. And what that means is all of those things, they work in conjunction with each other. And it's common sense though. If you're shallow breathing, if you will, if you're sitting around like this all the time, your lungs are collapsed and you're not breathing correctly. You got to sit up. And if you just do this for a little while and then do what I tell you at the end here, reward yourself, it'll be natural to you. Because if you look at somebody that is quote unquote successful or magnificent, That person looks at it and feels it. And you see that that person has energy. And the truth of the matter is that if you took a picture of that person with the camera called Carillion photography, you'd see that they have this aura around them. They have energy around them. It's a very real thing. This is science. That electromagnetic energy that comes from your muscles and from your cells, the ATP in your cells and all those things, that makes a difference. You've got to have energy and you got to strive to do it. And again, this might sound like a lot of work, but I'm going to make it super simple for you. And again, most of us are wasting more time doing things like, scrolling on our phone or watching television or wasting time doing that. If you spend 15 minutes a day on what I'm going to do, just 15 minutes a day, it'll blow you away what's going to happen. The fourth thing is joy. Joy. I know that sounds, again, counterintuitive, but magnificence means joy, and what joy means, happiness. The book back there that I wrote is called Get Happy Now. And science shows that happy people, joyful people, are healthier, they move quicker, they're definitely more successful, they definitely impact other people's lives more. And all of the things that come from it, just joy, just being happy, seeking it, looking for what's happy. And you've heard me say this probably before, and that is to shut off the negativity on the television and on your scrolling on social network and look for what's great. I always say, as you seek, so shall you find. If you go looking for joy, look for what makes you happy. Get out a journal and write down what makes you happy. You know how I roll about that. Write it down. What you write is what you invite. What makes you happy? And just anticipate that. Put that carrot on the stick of what you want to do. You love your dog. You like to go out for walks. You love the nature. You love to ride motorcycles. You love to dance and things like that. And the more you think about those things, remember, whatever we think, our body and our mind will believe. It doesn't know what's real and what's not real if you vividly imagine it. So that's how you be joyful. Celebrate the things that you're happy with. Celebrate, be grateful on all of those things. Look for the things. I wake up every single morning, and I encourage you to do this. Every single morning when you wake up, say, what am I grateful for? What am I happy about? What's great going to happen today? Be optimistic. Optimism is a skill. It is. When you see somebody that's optimistic, it's not that they just all of a sudden were that way. They've been that way for a while, and they've practiced it over and over again. Optimism, it means to look for what's great. Even in the worst of times, look for what's possible. And you'll find it. As you seek, so shall ye find. And as ye seek, so shall it find you. And the last thing is this: kindness. That's right, kindness. This is magnificent. When you think of somebody and they have all those 5 things, these are the things. Kindness means that you have compassion for other people. You do things for other people. You help other people. Kindness means that you give of yourself selflessly. Kindness means doing the right thing for other people. Doesn't it feel good to do something for somebody? Doesn't it feel good to teach somebody something? Doesn't it feel good to help somebody? Of course it does. Guess what? It's a loop. It's called a cybernetic loop. When you're kind, you're joyful. When you're joyful, you have energy. When you have energy, you tend to continue to do the things you say you're going to do. All of those things. And then when you do, guess what? It makes you more kind and all those things that goes around. One of my dear mentors always says that the secret to living is giving. Yeah, give. You don't have to always give money, but give your time, give your compassion, give your love. Be kind, and especially be kind to yourself. Turn in your membership card to the Self-Beaters Club. Be kind to yourself. Go to the mirror every single day and look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. You're amazing. Because after a while, it doesn't take long before you start to believe that stuff. Now, those are the 5 things. Number 1, integrity. Number 2, tenacity. Number 3, energy. Number 4, joy. And number 5, kindness. Those are the 5 pillars of magnificence. And when you think about them, you think about somebody magnificent, wouldn't they have all 5 of those things? Of course. Now, could you add to the list? Maybe so. But these are the 5 that I've not only lived my own life, and I don't use myself as some shining example of the way that things should be, but the things that I've taught other people as it's part of my coaching process. It's part of what I do for people is, listen, let's get these 5 things going on in your life and be working on them. Now, are you going to be magnificent right away? Yeah, you already are, but all we're going to do is step it up. And it does take some time to work on it. And here's how you do it. 5 things. Number 1, have fun. Have fun. And again, it might sound counterintuitive because you say, no, I'm an achiever. I got to work hard. I got to do this. Listen, you're slowing yourself down if you're grind all the time. You know, I hear people telling me all the time that, yeah, I'm on my grind. I'm on my grind. Well, how does that make you feel? I'm not. I'm on a voyage. I'm having fun. My eyebrows are up. I'm being optimistic. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. Number 2 is to play full out. Along with all of those things, that means if you're going to do something, and this is integrity. If you're going to do something, play full out. That means you're the person that steps up. You're the person that goes after it. You're the person that raises their hand and asks the question. You're the person that if like right now, I'm giving you something to do. I'm giving you an exercise that carries with it the promise of creating more magnificence in your life and making you more wealthy. And remember, wealthy means to be healthy, happy, and financially abundant. Isn't that what you want? Of course. That's what we all want. And that's what in my belief, that's what we're all looking for. And so have fun while you're doing it. Now, by the way, again, I taught at the University of Southern California for several years. And one of the things that I studied when I was there was something called super learning. And super learning is where you've seen it. They have these children, young children between, the ages of 5 and maybe 15 years old, maybe younger, maybe a little bit older. But they call them virtuosos, and they call them scholars. And you find these people these kids that can do things like play virtuoso violin, they call them prodigies, excuse me. And they find these kids that they play virtuoso violin or piano or take college courses, and they're brilliant at these things. And what they found out is that, obviously some kids are predisposed to be that way and they're raised differently, but what they found out, and this is with all kids, we learn more when we're having fun. Why? Because when we're having fun, we have 5 input senses and they're all alive and they're all up and we're all curious, and we take in more like that when we're kids because we're having fun. And if you think about it, kids, they're that far away from a smile or a laughter. Now, it may have changed a little bit because now they're on the internet all the time, but fun. If you have fun, you'll learn more. Next, like I said, play full out. Jump into it. Go after it. Because once you jump in, that old saying, you can put your toe in the water and test it and go in very, very slowly, or you can just jump right in the pool and get it over with. I say jump in the pool, get it over with, get on with your life. The pain, see, there's 2 types of pain. There's long-term pain and there's short-term pain. The long-term pain is what you're going to get for procrastination and hesitation. You're going to, they say a coward dies 1,000 deaths. A hero only one. That's kind of a morbid metaphor, but the truth of the matter is, if you're scared about something, if you don't want to do something, if you're procrastinating, that's long-term pain. And at the end of that, there's still more pain. But if you get it over with really quick, and when I say pain, I just means uncomfortable. Uncomfortable it goes away, and then pretty soon it gets comfortable. Nobody that I know of that started running for the first time really loved running. It hurts, especially when you start doing something new. But then after a while, you enjoy it because that's the way the body is. So have fun, play full out. Next is you got to have an open mind. That means that, listen, you might hear some things, even with me right now, you might hear some things that you don't agree with. You might hear some things that doesn't make sense to me or whatever, but have an open mind. I call it the overcoat theory. Try it on, wear it around for a little while, and see if that works for you. If you can use it, that's great. If you can help it, you can use it to make a better life, that's even better. But try it on, because a lot of times too many people go, no, that's like this, and I remember when this happened, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just step into that again. And what I encourage you to do is, you heard me on the other videos, to talk about this, to evaluate the situation and go, okay, what is this really? And what is the motivation behind this? And what is this going to give me? Evaluate it, and then jump in and go after it. Have fun. Have fun. Play full out. Have an open mind. And then the last thing is, second to last thing is to allow yourself to be pushed. You see, anybody that's ever been successful at anything, I don't care whether it's you, me, the president of the United States or whatever country that you're in, Elon Musk, they've all had a coach, a mentor, a teacher, or somebody that they've allowed that person to push them beyond what's comfortable. Let me repeat myself. Anybody that's ever been successful at anything has always had a coach, a mentor, or a teacher, or somebody that they've allowed that person on some level to push them beyond what's comfortable. When it was uncomfortable, they said, listen, you got to keep on going. And I'm honored to be at least filling a little bit of that role right now. But I encourage you to seek out other mentors and teachers and put yourself in the vicinity of people that are going to hold you to a higher standard and push you out there. That's what's going to give you your integrity, your tenacity, your energy, your joy, and it's going to give you your kindness as well. All of those things. And then the last thing is, and this is maybe not the most critical of all of them, but it's the one that most people leave out the most. And it's the toughest thing for so many people to do. And that is to praise yourself. That's right. You've heard that old saying that repetition is the mother of all skill. Well, what's the father? The father is praise. What does that mean? That means that you can do something if you do it over and over again. Remember, I talk about human physics. Human physics, amongst other things, but the one that I focus on is whatever you do over and over again, you're going to get good at. If you practice, piano over and over again, you're going to get better at that. And the bad stuff as well. If you do dumb, stupid, bad stuff, you're going to get better at doing dumb and stupid, bad stuff. But you can break that cycle. But if you want to speed the process up, if you want to make the process more efficient, if you will, then praise yourself. And go, be joyful about it. That means when you do anything at all, I don't care what it is, everything, practice the art of praising yourself. Because most people, it's just the opposite. When we don't get what we want, we didn't do it fast enough, we didn't do it quick enough, we beat ourselves up. That's just like scolding a baby for not having learned how to walk the very first time he or she stood up. You wouldn't do that. You praise the baby. And what happens to the baby's nervous system is it goes, oh, wait a minute, that felt good, dopamine release, and they go, let's do it again. And it's the same with you. So you got to praise yourself. Have fun. Play full out. Have an open mind. Make sure that, and by the way, when I say an open mind, that means allow other possibilities to come in. And the name of the game for all of us is to allow ourselves to be pushed. Allow ourselves to be pushed beyond what's comfortable, even if that pushing is yourself. And then lastly, praise yourself. These are the 5 keys. The 5 keys to make the 5 pillars work. Number 1, integrity, tenacity, energy, joy, and kindness. Now, here's a really cool thing. I created something for you. It's a book, and the book is called Dare to be Magnificent. And all 5 of these things, not only the things that I just talked about, but more, and exercises in there that you can do them. I always say, is it worth it for you to spend the time right now, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you don't want to do it? Is it worth it for you to spend a little bit of time on yourself right now to do this so that you have a lifetime of more joy and happiness and things that you want? The answer is absolutely yes. And so, somewhere around here, it's up here, around here, somewhere, you can just click on the link, and it's free. It's absolutely free. I want you to have this book. And the only thing that I ask is that you use it and you teach it. You don't have to give me credit for it. You teach it. It's Dare to be Magnificent. Click on the link and get yourself this book and get in it. Do the work. This is the stuff that makes a difference. Listen, a book changed my life at the worst time of my life. It changed my life. And I swore and I promised that was what I was going to do for as many people as I possibly could for the rest of my life. Well, my life ain't over, but this is my gift to you. So you say, and then of course, please like and subscribe and hit the notification button so that the bell rings when we have a new video, because that's what I'm all about. That's what we're all about here, is to helping you go further, faster. And so remember, you know what I'm going to say, that life is exactly what you dare to make it, and fortune favors the bold. And the trick to life is to boldly step up and dare to be magnificent. I look forward to serving you even more, and I'll see you at the top.